Hello everyone, I'm Prowl and I have some huge news to talk about today. We're gonna go over everything from item shop stuff, pay to win is in the topic today. We got some huge nerfs and buffs to different classes that I wanna kind of like glaze over. And then we got some people acting a fool on Twitter towards the devs and we need to set the record straight. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and talk about the news for Diablo IV today. So cosmetics generally can be found a lot of different ways. And we're going to kind of tie this into how you're going to find cosmetics in the store, okay? Or what the store cosmetics are going to be like. But it's important to kind of know, how are they theming these cosmetics? How do they decide what cosmetics go into which area? Are they just going to take all of the really good cosmetics and throw them into like the paid battle pass and throw them into the shop and just kind of leave you with garbage everywhere else to like further incentivize you to get these cosmetics these different ways? No, they're not going to do that. In fact, they're going to give you great cosmetic options everywhere, including the free areas. So the way that they've decided to split things up is you're going to see a lot of these cosmetics for the different characters that are out there, classes that are out there, like be themed around the zone that they're in when you find them in game. So you'll get drops from different mobs and like from chests and that sort of thing in the different like acts within, or the different areas within the world. And those are going to be generically like themed towards that particular area. Like each different area within Sanctuary is going to have its own like kind of style or theme to it. Then you're going to have the battle pass stuff. The battle pass stuff is going to be themed to the battle pass theme itself. So in the last news video, I gave an example of killer fluffy bunnies being a theme. So your cosmetics would be somewhat themed around that in that example. And then finally, the stuff in the shop. While I'm sure you'll have exceptions to this case, the shop is kind of meant to play on those player fantasies, like actually like the character itself. So rather than being kind of like generic things that could fit for any character, you might find a cosmetic made for a fire sorcerer, a bleed barbarian, or a poison rogue. You're going to have things that are in there that are like, oh man, like this is perfect for the way I am building my character. That's what they're going to be using the shop for. Also, something important to know about the shop that they talked about was kind of how the shop works. So first of all, at least from what they've told us so far, there is going to be no FOMO. There's going to be no fear of missing out. There's not going to be something that if you don't buy it right now, you will never see this item again. And honestly, that's a good thing, because cheap sales tactics like that can really rub people the wrong way. And it seems like, especially after Blizzard seeing how like the reaction to Diablo Immortal was, where you could pay thousands and thousands of dollars to like get special things, buy power, etc. Like they are literally going the opposite direction as far as they can while still monetizing their game. So things that you see pop in through the like shop, it's going to be, they're going to cycle through. So you're not going to see everything all the time. It just wouldn't be good strategy for them, like sales wise, to throw 200 options at you in a huge list and then keep adding more and more options to it as they like go and go. And the next thing you know, 10 seasons in, you have 500 options. They don't want to do that. That wouldn't make any sense. But what they are going to do is run a rotation. So you're going to see things come and go in the shop every few weeks or whatever the case may be, depending on how many things they have to offer. And then also, and this is new to me, I've never seen a game with the in-store shop, like in-game shop, do this. They're actually going to use like you ever go to like Amazon or like, you know, website for a particular store, even just browsing Google, and like get served up ads based on like your browsing history. Well, they're not going to exactly do that, but they're going to do the Diablo version of that. And they're going to serve you items, some items. This won't be how your whole shop is laid out. There'll be a portion of your shop that is laid out to serve you items that they think you're going to buy. And what we mean by that is if you're playing Barbarian a lot, they might show you stuff more intended for a Barbarian because that's what you're playing. If all you're playing is Barbarian, why are they going to show you a whole bunch of stuff for a Druid or a Sorcerer? You're still going to see some of those things, but you're going to get catered things to the stuff that you like to play. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of nice. If I'm playing a Rogue, I want to see a little bit more Rogue stuff so I can see what my options are and something that I would want to consider buying. And that's going to kind of lead me into showing you some examples of this that we were provided in the developer live stream, such as the sorcerer, for example. We were given a couple different options, one that you get through just in-game looting, another that you get from the shop. And like you could tell by looking at them, quality wise, they're really close to the same. Now, I'm not really quite sure what exact theme they're going with this like sorcerer that's like kind of like dark and like she's got like a horned helmet. I'm not quite sure what that would go with, but like I like the skin, I like the cosmetic, it looks good. I would personally probably take that one over the one on the left hand side, the in-game one, but you know, to each their own, right? People are going to do different things. When we look at the one for the rogue, like both of those look really cool. I would be happy with either one of them. I do again like the shop one a little bit better personally. If I look at the barbarian, both of those are really neat as well. But like the blood coming from the one on the shop is honestly really cool. Might kind of fit themed in with the bleed build, right? And then we even have a really cool necromancer one too. Again, both of them look good. But like each one of these, I do kind of like the shop one a little bit better. Like if I'm rating them on a scale of 1 to 10, like the shop one in each instance may be like a point higher than the in-game one. So there's not this huge delta between the two, but rather there's a more narrow difference between them and how good of a quality they are. And I'm sure different people's opinions are going to vary, and a lot of people are going to like the in-game ones better too. And that kind of leads us to ask the question, what actually is going to be in the shop when the game launches on June the 2nd. If you're enjoying this news video and want more great Diablo 4 content, please make sure to click that like button, drop me a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of you that are watching this video right now that aren't subscribed, so I'd appreciate it if you click that button to support the channel. So I asked Kagan that, who is the director of product on the Diablo team, and she let us know that there will definitely be some great things in the shop on the 2nd when the game launches, something for each class, but it won't quite be totally full yet on day 1, as we'll probably see more of that start to trickle in over time. And then another thing, I don't think, maybe not necessarily related to the shop, because we don't know if we're going to see this type of cosmetic stuff in the shop at some point, but somebody kind of asked, it'd be awesome to see more hair options for the sorcerer and the ability to change hairstyles after character creation in the wardrobe. We really need those hairstyles back for the sorc. And Kagan let us know that I couldn't agree more. We want to make more hair for all classes. These are complex to make because they have to work with every helmet in the game, but definitely something we want to create more of in future seasons. Now, just to get to some other miscellaneous information and somewhat related information that I was able to find while looking through some developer tweets that I think you guys are going to be interested in. Adam was asked, hey Adam, I haven't seen how many people are typically in a game server yet. If it's limited people, for example, 12 based on world boss fights, how will we ever find people in the PvP zones? Seems like PvP will be very limited. Adam let us know 12 is just a cap for a boss instance. And from what I could tell while playing the game, it seems like as you travel from zone to zone, it kind of fluctuates who's in and not in your instance in the game. So I imagine if you're going out to PvP, you're probably going to get instanced in an area where there's more people PvPing as well. So you're not just going to be in an empty area. They want you to see players constantly, and they seem to have some type of like handoff system to do that in a way that makes you feel like you're seeing a decent amount of people without being overwhelmed with too many. So I didn't check out this video that Panoxy put in here, but we have a tweet here, and it's titled D4 Scam. So I'm pretty sure they are, well, based on Adam's tweet back, they're talking about pay to win in Diablo 4. Pay for power in Diablo 4. And while we keep hitting this nail on the head over and over, and some people just don't seem to get it, Adam clears it up perfectly right here in a way that hasn't been done before. We aren't selling power. That is the philosophy of the game and team. If anything comes up like an edge case where it would be possible, so he's referencing here, let's say there was an oversight where something happened where you actually could, like somebody could find a roundabout way to pay for any kind of power. Adam is saying here, that would mean that it isn't working as intended. And we would immediately, can we highlight the word immediately here? Resolve it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we talked about hitting nails on the head. Let's put the nail in the coffin right now. There will be no pay to win in Diablo. There will be no pay for power in Diablo. Say it with me, people. There will be no pay to win. If you see people saying this somewhere, kindly let them know that this is a 0% chance of happening at this point. And it would take a massive turnaround for Blizzard. Otherwise, that would probably just ruin people's taste on the game. They're not going to do it. Adam made it perfectly clear. This gets brought up like all the time, but Uncle Andy asked if I played the Slam on PC and unlock these cosmetics, but get the final game on PS5, will those items be there? We're talking about the special stuff that you can earn during the Server Slam, the Wolf Pup, the Shava trophy for your mount. And Rod says yes. I mean, basically what everybody should understand about this is everything is based on your battle.net account. Anything you do on one account will transfer to another account except the actual purchase of the game. If you buy it on PC and you want to play it on your PlayStation, you have to actually buy the game on the PlayStation. But other than that, everything cross transfers from one to the other, no matter what it is. The only exception to that was early access. If you buy early access on PC, you're only going to get early access to the game on that PC, but that's just a one and done thing. After we get to the full launch of the game, that won't matter. Everything transfers over. And then I want to get to a tweet here that really strikes a nerve with me because people just like to make something out of nothing, and it drives me insane. And that is from the user Tosti here, who said $25 for the premium battle pass. WTF with the COD, Fortnite, and every other game doing this crap. It's getting a little ridiculous. Diablo games already have enough replayability. At this point, you're just milking us for cash. Can we just pee off with the battle pass? Like, for F's sakes. Like, this dude's like just totally lost his crap. They've ruined his life with this. Rod clarifies, to be clear, it's $10 for the premium battle pass. The $25 version is the accelerated version that also includes 20 tier skips and a cosmetic. So obviously he's not getting into the controversy of this. He's just kind of correcting the facts. It's Tosti dude. He loses his mind again and says that's not any better. That's COD and Fortnite MO. The gaming community is growing weary of these methods, but you guys continue to push them. For a dev that's extremely active with his community, you sure are oblivious to the obvious. And you know what, dude? I couldn't disagree more. And maybe there's a couple of you guys out here that want to fight me on this, but I really think this mentality is stupid. It is dumb. And the reason it is stupid and it is dumb is because we're talking about something that has zero bearing on your play of the game at all. Now, that's not to say that when something like Diablo Immortal happens and they do offer pay for power, pay to win, that's not cool. Should you make these types of comments about that? I think it's fair game. But this person isn't making that argument here. They're making an argument of a battle pass at all. Maybe some people don't understand the purpose of a battle pass, but the battle pass creates further incentive for more people to play the game. So maybe while this person will play the game for years without a battle pass, that's not most people. Most people want and enjoy extra incentive. Me, I enjoy the extra incentive because guess what? You're giving me free stuff for playing the game. I'm getting free cosmetics for just playing the game. And I can get them for free by getting the unpaid version of the battle pass, or I can spend $10 every 3 months and like earn a whole bunch of other stuff too. Me personally, I'm fine with that. You may not be, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, the things that you're earning have no bearing on the gameplay of the game whatsoever. So it shouldn't bother you that some people are willing to pay 10 bucks for some extra skins in the game and to just look a little bit different than everybody else in terms of the stuff that they're wearing. And then the last thing that I'll note is this stuff like helps fund future development of the game. Now, for a huge company like Blizzard, is that a big of a deal? Kinda, but maybe not as big of a deal as like a smaller like indie company, right? But the general premise is people keep pumping money into the game, and the more money people are pumping into the game, the more incentive that the developers of the game have to keep putting out cool, awesome looking cosmetics for us to earn for free and to buy. And also more incentive they have to make people really want to come back for the seasons by adding in new, better, amazing gameplay elements that keep the game fresh and fun going forward for years to come. So essentially, it's funding the game to make it better and better as we go. I don't see a problem with that. And last but not least, I want to talk about some changes that were made. These are some unofficial patch notes that like people put together of all of the changes that were made between the last beta that we played and Server Slam coming up this week. and likely for the most part of what'll be in the live game. Now, I'm not going to go through here and read these line to line to you because that could be a little boring. I'm going to link the notes in the description down below. But basically, there are a lot of tweaks to a lot of different things in here. There's a lot of nerfs to a lot of abilities and a lot of buffs to a lot of abilities too. For example, Bash is going to give you 10% base life instead of 5%, or Hammer of the Ancients is going to have a 50% lucky hit chance instead of a 40%. You see a lot of changes to lucky hit, which I'm not going to go over that mechanic in game right now, but it has to do with like some special things that you can get through different items that you have in the game, or even different skills that you can take will have like different things they'll do based on lucky hit. So it does make a big difference in the game. And you have a lot of abilities here that have had their cost adjusted, that have had their damage adjusted, that has had their timers adjusted for how often you can use them, how often they last. And generally speaking, within here, there seems to be a lot more nerfs than there are buffs. The Barbarian kind of got a little bit of both, right? Their shouts were nerfed, but their damage abilities were buffed, generally speaking. The Druid kind of got a little bit of back and forth as well. Their pets were buffed further. Some of their abilities were nerfed. Some of their abilities were buffed. You see a lot of nerfs to the Sorcerer, a few to the Necromancer. You see a little bit of back and forth with the Rogue as well. So again, I'm not going to go over all of these individually. It's a long list of a lot of different things. Check out the description below. Let me know what you think about some of these changes in the comment section down below as well, because I'm kind of curious to see if any of these are affecting builds that you are looking to do, and are they making you change the like type of character you're going to build, or even what class you're going to pick. But as far as the news roundup, that's it for me today. It is Server Slam weekend. You will probably be seeing this video. It'll come out on Saturday. So Server Slam will have already been out for, probably about 12 to 18 hours or so. So I hope everybody's having fun. If you don't know how to get into Server Slam, I do have a video for that here on the channel. I would appreciate it if you guys would like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop in on stream. I'll be live all of this weekend and all of launch when launch of the game happens. So make sure you follow me here. I'm live here on YouTube. You can also find me live on Twitch if you prefer watching there as well. Drop me a comment down below for the algorithm. Let me know what classes are you rolling, are you playing during Server Slam weekend, and what class are you going to pick for the start of Diablo 4. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.